Will making less content make you more money for your business? It sounds weird, but surprisingly yes, but only if you do it in a very specific way. So in this video, I'm going to show you the new way of creating content that builds a lot more trust with your audience and allows you to send spanking hot leads directly into your funnel. And the best part about it is that it takes way less time than what you're doing now. The first thing and the most important thing that we need to come to terms with is that the market has changed a lot. If you really want to stand out in today's market, there's a lot of volume required. But if you're also running a business, you don't have time to sitting down and create tons of short form content and YouTube videos all the time. It's just very low leverage. So I came up with a new way of doing things, which is way more effective. This new way of creating content is called content streaming, and I'll show you exactly how it works in a bit. But the reason why it's so effective is that we completely erase and replace the need for any traditional content creation and thereby saving you tons of time in terms of creating content and promoting your business. So I'll jump on the computer real quick here and I'll show you exactly how it works. Now, the first step in the process is to come up with a plan, because if you want a specific outcome, you got to have a plan to actually get there. So the first thing we got to decide is, what is the goal? What is the main objective that we're actually trying to accomplish? And for most people, if you're business owners, there's going to be two goals. Goal number one is driving traffic directly into your funnel. Goal number two is having a bunch of content come out of this that can afterwards be repurposed for different platforms. So these are the two main ones that we want, and I'm going to show you how to optimize for both effectively. So the first one is traffic. So the way you actually get that traffic, that nice and warm traffic directly to your funnel, is that you have to get people to watch obviously as much as possible, because the more they watch, the better. But the thing about live streaming and also your videos, people won't always watch the whole thing through. So if this is your whole stream, let's say that's a timeline of one stream, you gotta be able to drop CTAs throughout it. And it can't feel like you are going live to make sales, because they'll sniff that out and they will tune out. They don't want to hear it. It has to be you're going live to actually provide value. But these people who are here in the beginning most likely won't be here at the end. It's going to be different people. And if someone is there through the whole thing, doesn't really matter. They're going to be nurtured so much that the CTAs are fine. But having those small, soft, but frequent CTAs throughout is going to help you get a lot more people into your funnel, whatever funnel you're actually running. And the way you actually get these CTA to work is that you use what I call special offers / special asset. And apologies for the handwriting. I haven't used this bad boy in a while because it didn't work and I was too lazy to figure out why. But now I fixed it. Special offers, special assets. You always got to have something special to offer them to make them actually feel like, okay, I'm going to take action on this CTA right now, today. And even if you don't, you just got to frame it as if you do. You can literally say anything. Right now it's January, so I can just be on the live and say, for whatever reason, right now it's January, so I'm taking in 5 more people who want to do X, Y, and Z. And because it's January and we're taking on these new people for this specific thing, I'm going to be taking the calls personally, so you can actually speak with me and get you a free consultation call, or however you frame your calls. Just make a case for that it's a special. And it doesn't even have to be January. You can literally say February just started and we're taking on 5 new people, so I'm taking calls personally if you want to speak with me. Anything. So a special offer just means that you say that for whatever reason it's special right now. Whatever your funnel is, you can have the link to maybe a call booking page pinned in the comment section. Or if you want them to send you a DM on Instagram, you can just say DM me live, so I know you came from this live stream, so you'll get this special offer, right? Or you can go with the special asset. And the special asset is just a lead magnet. With social media, with the state of YouTube and short form platforms, you really want as many lead magnets as possible. Lead magnets that fit the content you're talking about. Let's say you're a personal trainer and the topic of this live stream is weight loss. Weight loss secret, let's say. Weight loss secrets that you wish you knew. Why is it not writing? Secrets that you wish you knew in your 20s or something like that. Whatever it is, right? You gotta have some lead magnets that fits this topic of weight loss. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, because you are the expert. You have a lot, hopefully, expertise on this topic. And for your audience, for the potential buyers, they're not at the same level of understanding within this topic. So even the most simple information can be mind-blowing to them. All you gotta do is put it in a Google Doc and make it look a little bit nice. Use ChatGPT to help you write it out, not to come up with it for you. You should have the expertise on your own. but you can kind of brainstorm with it as a sparring partner, come up with a good framework for a lead magnet, and make it sound sexy, which is probably the most important thing. No one wants a boring lead magnet because it doesn't matter how good it is. Most people will barely even at all consume the lead magnet. Obviously, don't make anything that's like shitty, but from your perspective, it's just to get a way for them to reach out to you or to sign up, opt in, whatever it is. What you really want is just to get that first interaction in. You just got to have as many lead magnets as possible so you can do that on different occasions, different topics, so you always have that CTA available. And now that you have a lead magnet, you can make different CTAs throughout this live stream. So some of them can be for the lead magnet. This one could be work one-on-one with me. This could be for the lead magnet. This could be book a one-on-one call. You can do different CTAs and it won't feel as salesy. But if you use this framework, special offer, special asset, you will always have people come from this live stream and into your funnel. Now, the next step is also to make sure that you also have tons of traffic or tons of content, that you can then repurpose later, both on YouTube and on other platforms. How many videos you can get out of one stream depends a lot on how well prepared you are and also how long you can go without starting to kind of burn out and be a little bit drained and not being able to keep up the same mental sharpness. If you're new, if you haven't done it before, I would say 1 long form video plus about 14 short form should be very possible. Is that a S? I was trying to write a S. Boom. And the way you do this is you can have obviously the 1 long form prepared, which is going to be the main topic of the video. And then additionally, you can have 5 prepared short form ideas. Then you can have 6, maybe 7 questions that you're going to answer from the audience. That's a Q. You may not be able to read it, but it is a Q. And lastly, you will probably have 1 or 2 clippable moments from the actual stream that your editor can just take and make to a video. Let's try to actually map it out a little bit. So I'm going to make a line just like I did before. And let's add like, this is the timeline of the stream, about 60 minutes. What you need to do is structure the stream. It's not just about going live and then just talking and hoping for the best. That's not really content streaming. You have to be very strategic so we get the most out of this actual stream, because we don't want to go live and also having to create content. We want to just do one thing. So how we structure it is we're going to have an intro, and then you're going to have the long form. I'll do LF1. If you do multiple, you have long form 1, long form 2, AI, which is audience interaction, where you interact with your audience, short form 1, and then you're going to have the outro. But we start off with the intro. So the intro could be about 3 minutes long. And what you just do in the intro is that firstly, you greet everybody that comes in. Don't do the thing where you're like just sitting and waiting for people to come in. Start greeting people immediately as if thousands of people coming. You have to kind of know the view count. So you just greet people, say welcome, then you introduce. I'm just going to write intro. Introduce the main topic of the video, kind of do a little bit of a pre-hook to it. And then once again, you greet the rest of the people that came in. And then you actually just go directly into the long form video. Now, like I said, this is the main topic. And I'm assuming that you already are on YouTube, since I'm writing both long form and short form. And if you're not, this is the perfect way to start. Just get started with this and you will be able to take your YouTube videos from this. And when you start this, you just start presenting as if it was a YouTube video. So you do the whole intro, and this will be about 30 minutes, obviously depending on how long that your actual video is. Like, is it a long video, is it a deep topic, or more of a short one? Also, because you're not really presenting in the same way, so it doesn't have to be as sharp. It can be a little bit more loose, so it will be a little bit longer than the actual video. Your editor or yourself, if you're editing your own videos, can trim it down. And already in this part, I will throw in a CTA, because this is going to be an actual full video, so you will want a CTA in it. Then the next part is AI, which is not AI, is audience interaction. And this will take about 5 minutes. It can take longer. It really just depends on how much of an audience there is and how active they are. Really, you should be kind of interacting with them throughout the whole thing, but you should also have some moments set aside just to interact with the audience. And what you do here is just right after you finish with the long form video, you just engage with the audience. You just ask them questions, you talk to them. And after that, they're going to have questions for you that you can answer and turn into short form. So you engage with them first, and then you do a little quick Q&A. I don't even know how to do that little thing. I don't know. So these questions, maybe some of them will be so good that you can actually do a more deep dive response, and maybe that will turn into a long form video as well. But usually you will have about 3 to 5 questions that you can answer right here that can be turned into short form content. Because if you're an expert in your field and the main topic of the video, all you really need is someone to ask you a question, and you can give them a deep dive answer of how to get the desired outcome from solving the problem of the question they're talking about. And I know this because I obviously work with a lot of expert coaches, consultants, different kind of stuff. And every time they're prompted with a question or problem to solve, they can just start spitting. It's only when they're in this presenter mode of I have to create content and say everything perfectly, then it becomes difficult. But when you're talking freely and you're just answering questions and helping people out, it's super easy to come up with a lot of very good stuff that would then be turned into short form clips. So after you answer the questions, you do a CTA again. Solve CTA related to one of the questions you just answered. And then you move on to the next part, which is short form 1. And this, depending on how much you've prepared, will be about 20 minutes. So we're going to have mainly the short form content is going to come out of answering questions, but it's also going to come out of prepared short form content. So you can have content ideas that you have prepared, just like you've prepared a long form video, and you're going to present that live while you're doing the live stream. How I like to do it is I like to kind of gamify it, make it, let's play a game and then turn it into short form content instead of just doing different content, short form content video ideas. So turn it into a game, because that's also something that it's going to be a little bit more natural, but it works very well on short form platforms, especially Instagram right now. These type of, if we stick to the weight loss topic, type of videos where you're like ranking in like a S tier fashion or tier list fashion, or ranking like top 5 best weight loss foods, best exercises, worst foods, different types of like ranking systems and debunking myths, those kind of games, those rapid fire. If you have someone behind the camera, you could just have a list prepared and then have that person ask you the questions. And then you just say whatever you want to say, or just read it out from your phone if you have them prepared. Those kind of game ranking type of videos are performing very well, and you can do them live with the audience. Now, next up is the outro, and it's probably going to be another 5 minutes. It's going to be similar to the first one because it really is very like audience interaction. What you do is that you engage with your audience again once you're done with the short form game, and then you answer more questions, whatever questions they might have. I'm gonna try to do this. I don't. How is that letter made? It's like an 8, but it's not an 8. It's like something weird. You do the Q&A once again, whatever questions they might have, and then you do the last CTA. This one, of course, can be a little bit more direct. This is the last one, and after that, you're gonna end the live stream, so you might as well make it count. But if you stick to this format, you will have about an hour long stream. Let's see, 30 minutes, a little bit more than an hour. And it's going to be very effective to get as many people from the live into your funnel. But also from this, you will have content. Let's say you're posting 1 time a day. You will have short form content for 2 weeks. And you have a long form video as well. Very, very efficient for 1 hour's worth of content streaming. And by the way, if you want a full guide of how to prepare for a content stream with timestamps, how to come up with the main topic and all this kind of stuff, I have a full guide in the description. So go ahead and grab that. The next thing we need to attack with content streaming is now you have the plan, now you know what you want to talk about. The next step is actually going live. And I'm going to actually be very, very honest here because it's very simple. If you have the skills, the knowledge, if you're very knowledgeable about the topic you're going live about, it's going to be very easy for you to go live if you have done just minimal preparation. The only thing that can set you back and make it difficult is if you try to be perfect. You have to be yourself when you're going live. And I know that sounds a little bit corny, but you have to, because if you try to be perfect and say everything perfect and memorize every single line from your preparation, it's going to go bad and you will seem unauthentic. Is that the word? Unauthentic. And you will also just come across very stiff, unlikable, and you won't be able to really give the value that you want. And it'll be a very unpleasant experience and you won't want to go live again, even though it's very, very beneficial. You have to be okay with just letting it go and kind of be in that flowy state where you can just express yourself. And one of the easiest ways to do that is finding a style, something that suits you and something that's easy for you to execute on. For example, I'm trying out where I'm drawing and I'm not the best at drawing, but it helps me get things out and make it also visual rather than just looking at me talking as you're doing right now. You also look at the screen while I'm drawing. Other ways could be reaction content as well. If you're in a space where you can react to other people, other experts, or stuff going on in your space and give your 2 cents, this is something that's very easy to do and also is going to work very well. But don't be afraid to experiment with different things. Regardless of there's 1 person in there, 2 people, or 1,000 people, it doesn't really matter. With content streaming, you have a plan, and that plan is, yes, to drive traffic directly to your funnel, but also It's your content day. So you have that game plan you have to execute to get that content. And you do that the same way, regardless of there's 1,000 people watching or 2 people watching, because when it comes to the actual video that's going to come out of it, if you want to know if there was 2 people watching it, they won't even know if it's live. Just like you don't know if this is live or if this is pre-recorded. It doesn't really matter. You won't get to the point where you have a lot of people live if you don't start going live. Everybody starts with 0 people watching, just like you start with 0 followers. You have to just ignore it and stick to the content that you've prepared. And the last step is the distribution aspect of it. Now I'll explain it while I'm sipping the rest of my cold coffee. I'm going to focus mostly on Instagram because that's what I like using the most. But the main thing is long form and short form content. And how do you do this? This is where you call your editor and tell them to do all the work for you. If you don't have an editor, you have to do it yourself. There is some softwares. I think there's one called Opus, Clips. There's some other ones. They're okay, but preferably you would have an editor doing this for you. As a business owner, what you want to do is the highest leverage thing. You want it to be set up in a way where all you have to do is go live and then everything else gets taken care of. The only thing that I would do additionally is possibly creating CTAs for the short form when you're playing the game. You want it to feel like you're actually just playing a game and you're not creating short form content. But after, you can do the CTAs, you can just do the follow for more or comment for lead magnet. That works very well right now with those game type of videos. But soon, even very soon, I've already seen it happening, is that you can have AI presenting short form videos. Very, very realistic. And it's going to be you, it's going to be your setup, it's going to be your voice, it's going to be everything that you have. But if you're doing a whole video like that, it looks a little bit weird. But you can very, very easily just go live and then have that AI just do the CTA. Once that happens, really all you have to do is go live and then everything else can be taken care of because the videos will be plugged from there and AI will do the CTA, which is kind of scary. But another reason, if you're not already doing content streaming, you should very much consider going live, because if you're not in the AI space and AI is your thing, you have to be super personal and do something that AI can't replace, which is going live, because the AI can't do that. For short form content, the AI presenters are going to take over this year. Long form content is going to be a little bit longer, but live stream, they can't. So it's going to be a split where it's like live, super personal, super authentic, and it's going to be AI stuff. And if you're not playing in the AI stuff, this field, you got to be all the way over here, because if you're in the middle, you're going to get out-competed. You're not going to stand out in any way. So now you know the 3 steps to having a banging content stream that will not only drive tons of traffic, but also sales for your business. All you got to do now is go live and really experience how much of a cheat code it really is. And if you want to work with me personally, there's a link in the video description. And YouTube think you should watch this video next. So check it out and see you in the next one.